Hello and welcome to Homick Advanced Chiropractic. This is the new member orientation to acquaint you with the office and why we get adjusted, and to give you a small discovery session about what we do here and how it can benefit you. The only person missing from this video is you, so I'm going to be talking about chiropractic from my point of view and how I share it with you and the things I see in the office when people get adjusted on a maintenance basis, and to see how their life is changing, and it's very exciting. So sit back and listen to what I'm about to share with you. I'm going to do it quickly because you've got a lot of living to do and I've got a lot of spines to adjust. So here we go. This is the orientation. So a better version of yourself starts with the nervous system. Chiropractic is a lifestyle, and I invite you to take part in that lifestyle. And we have a membership model to promote a meaningful experience. And I hope to convey that with you. This can be the game changer. Now, I'm going to talk quickly because you don't want to watch a long, drawn-out video. But I want to introduce to you the importance of the brain and the spinal cord and how it has nerves connecting to every organ of the body. The Windsor autopsies made me decide to become a chiropractor, and I'm going to share with you my mission statement and how that came about. So hang on and let's get started. So I'm offering this orientation session. It's a discovery session. Chiropractic is a lifestyle, and we're going to talk about health building, and we're going to talk about how we need to give ourselves time. There is no quick fix, and when you put in the time, you can discover how the body heals with lots of nurturing from chiropractic care. So if you're not ready for a maintenance program, or you're not ready to sit through an appointment where I'm taking a history and discussing with you your health, you may not be ready. You may need to go to the emergency room. You may need to do something a little more intensive, and then you can come and discover the membership program and why a wellness program can be so life-changing for you. So who am I? Let me share with you my mission statement. I'll tell you a story. When I was in 6th grade, I lost 2 grandparents back to back, and I became a paranoid hypochondriac. I thought I was next. I was young, very young, and they were also very sickly most of their lives, and so I didn't get to know them for very long. But I also thought I was the next one to pass on. Every little thing on my skin, every little thing I noticed about my body would make me freak out. I was very paranoid. And I don't know how long that lasted, but I came across a book somewhere in my house. It was a grade school version of a science book, and it talked about all the body systems and how coordinated they were and how amazing they were. And at that age, I was amazed. I said, that's how the body heals. The body is functioning to keep me going. And I said, this is amazing, but I didn't learn it. I don't know when I learned it, maybe later on when we studied biology, but for a 6th grader, this was huge. And I discovered it on my own by reading a book. And from that day on, I got rid of my paranoia, and I was no longer a hypochondriac. My other grandmother, however, lived with us the last few years of her life, and she had a bazillion pills. And when I mean a bazillion, it was mind-blowing. Bags and bags of pills. And my dad said, we need to organize it because we're taking turns helping her and taking care of her. So I had a piece of paper, I had a ruler, I made charts, we check marked every time we had to give my grandma a medication, and I had to organize it. Some were 4 times a day, 3 times a day, end of the day, before bed, getting up first thing in the morning. There were a lot of pills, so I organized it so she was taking a pill almost every hour of her waking day. And that made an impact on me. Is that going to be the rest of my life? Is that the way everybody lives? For me, I wanted something different, and that stuck with me. Later on, I was a mental health therapist working in the mental health arena, working with psychiatrists, and we had a lot of people falling through the cracks. They weren't getting help emotionally, and they were having a lot of physical complaints, and they were not getting heard by either side. Either the psychiatrists or the physicians. There had to be a better way to reach them. I discovered chiropractic as a very influential way to change your health and to change your brain health. And I'm going to share that with you now because I discovered it and started getting adjusted over 20 years ago. And I decided to become a chiropractor because I never heard this information before. I was almost 30 years old. I never heard this, and I think the rest of the world needs to hear it. So rather than just become a chiropractic patient and getting adjusted on a wellness basis the rest of my life, I said I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to deliver adjustments to everybody. So what brought you here? I hope it's a suggestion from a friend. Please thank them. Or you're looking for something different. You want to address your health in a different way because what's happening currently is not working. So let's talk about some key terms that are important. Innate, subluxation, and spinal significance. So let's talk about innate. Innate is something very inborn that everybody has. And innate is the true healer. You've got innate within you. Here's an acorn. An acorn is full of innate. This acorn can turn into a mighty oak tree, and it doesn't have to think about it. Just when the soil's right, when the sun is right, when the water is right, that acorn is going to flourish. And that's pretty amazing. We have it too. The minute we're conceived, we've got innate helping us develop. Our brain and spinal cord came next in utero, and that controls every part of your body. Innate does work through the nervous system. Innate, I call the invisible part, because you can't really see nerve impulses unless you have a super strong microscope. They're happening automatically, and the nervous system is the physical part, your brain and spinal cord. We know they're there, we dissect them, we can see them. So the physical and the non-physical come together to flow, deliver energy that helps your cells thrive, divide, helps your organs function. They are partners for life. Innate and the nervous system. They work together beautifully like a great orchestra. Now, if one instrument is off, we have to tweak it. We have to get it right, or the musical piece is going to sound horrible. So we need to keep the orchestra inside us balanced and beautiful. So think about this. Even a corpse has a nervous system. However, it's dead. It's a corpse. It still has a brain, it still has a spinal cord, but it is lacking the innate. So chiropractic teaches us how to take care of our innate, and it's going to take care of us. Our nervous system is going to take care of us tenfold. We give it a little bit of TLC, and it's going to carry us through. The next important word is subluxation. Subluxation is a minor dislocation in the spinal joints that leads a domino effect through the rest of the body because of the nerves. The nerves are impacted, and they're going to send up mixed up signals. They're not going to deliver the correct signals that you need at the right time. And chiropractic care helps us alleviate that problem so the body can heal. Here's another great picture. This little girl had polio in the late 1950s. She went to her family chiropractor. 6 months of care and she was walking again. This is a great way to understand chiropractic care. Polio is a virus. And what can we do about a virus? We make the body stronger so the body can fight off the virus. And that's how it worked in this little girl. What interference are you dealing with? We've got a lot of interference in our life, mechanical, chemical, and emotional. And interference is going to slow us down. Here's another funny picture. Interference does lead to subluxations. That bulldozer is going to knock that tree down. That bulldozer is an interference to that tree. So when we have interference in our nervous system, it changes everything. I see people with old injuries that affect them today, even though they've been healed, they still have that nervous system memory and weak tissues below the surface. I see a lot of chemical issues, the toxins in medications, diet, gluten intolerance. That's a big problem on the nervous system. Poor diet and everything else we're exposed to. Emotional interference. I see people stressed out by their jobs. They're not getting Appreciation at their workplace, big, big issue. When people don't feel good about their jobs, then there's stress on their immune system, and their nervous system is not going to feel good. It's going to slow down. Now, the Windsor autopsies, that is what made me become a chiropractor. It made me make the final decision and say, yep, I'm going to be a chiropractor. Dr. Windsor was a medical doctor at the University of Pennsylvania. He wanted to prove chiropractic wrong, because chiropractor said if there's a spinal problem where the nerve goes to that organ, if that organ is going to be diseased. And he took cadavers and looked at cat cadaver, dog cadaver, and human cadavers. Whatever their death certificate said, he looked at that organ, traced its way back to the spinal cord. So heart, for example, somebody with a heart issue, you trace the nerve back to its area in the spine, and there was a spinal issue there. He called them minor curvatures. So he had a very good correlation with a lot of different organ diseases. Lungs, stomach, liver disease, pancreas, gallbladder, uterus. They were strongly correlated, and he had this published in the Medical Times, November 1921. This was at the University of Pennsylvania, November 1921. If I never heard of it, everybody needs to hear of it. And so, to me, it was life-changing, and it showed how crucial it is. Don't ignore your nervous system, and make sure your spine is helping the nervous system deliver the signals. Here's some principles. Innate is the healer, and everything decays over time, especially the spine. We don't want decay. We need to prevent that and help that. When innate is separated from the body, healing is interrupted, and chiropractic adjustments reestablish that connection. Now, with maintenance care, which is an ongoing routine, that's going to allow for a constant routine connection of nerves to the organs, and we can minimize spinal decay and the damaging domino effects of subluxations with maintenance care. So I offer maintenance care in the office. Why? Because stress is like the weather. It's there every day. Some days are worse than others. So look at stress that way so you understand how to not let it take over your life. We all understand maintenance of the car. We don't want to break down. We don't want our family members stranded somewhere with a broken down car. So constant maintenance prevents that. We brush our teeth. Do we do it just once? No, we do it more than once, more than once a day, I hope. We don't want our houses falling apart. We do take care of the shingles, the insulation, fix a broken window. We want to maintain our house so the structure remains strong. And this posture picture, this is a bad spine. Over time, it decays, and we don't want to have poor posture because that's going to change how the brain functions, and we want a nice, healthy brain. So my approach to subluxations in the office is to get adjusted at least weekly. This is scientifically shown that a weekly adjustment is going to help with heart rate, the endocrine system, your brain works better, and this is all scientifically in the literature. I'll share it with you when you come to the office. And number two is we need to feed the body with the appropriate nutrients so that when we adjust the spine and deliver that energy to the organs, we have healthy tissues receiving that energy. Dead tissue can't heal, so we need to boost it up with nutrition. You only need the desire to correct subluxations to be seen at the office. There's no prerequisite. You don't have to be in pain. In fact, subluxations aren't always painful. 67% of your nerves are motor nerves. They don't elicit pain. But if you have damage that's significant enough to affect sensory nerves, the rest of the nerves, you will feel pain. So we want to take care of it when it's still fixable, when it's still manageable. Subluxations do impair the healing process. Self-healing is how everything works, and if we interrupt that or slow it down or cause it to regress, you're not going to heal well. And that's the domino effect on the rest of the body. We're going to adjust subluxations to help heal better and minimize spinal decay. And that is a great opportunity for you. We also have a lot of literature in the office, the Chiropractic First books, Chiropractic Chicken Soup for the Chiropractic Soul, and a lot of scientific literature if you want to look at how is it working. you're going to experience it yourself when you get adjusted, but it's interesting to read other people's experiences and what's in the scientific literature. Now, I can't promise to get anybody out of pain. Chiropractic is not a treatment for pain, but I know we're human. Life happens. We hurt ourselves. We get injured. I have no control over people's health history. I have no control over their environment, but I invite you to restore balance and put the balance back into your body. In fact, the most amazing situations I see are when babies are getting adjusted. They can't speak. They can't tell us what's wrong. We adjust little babies and they thrive. Toddlers, children, teenagers who play sports, we want them to not have any funky injuries that affect them later on in adulthood. People with addictions do well. People with mental issues do well. And in fact, if somebody's in a coma, sometimes they wake up after a chiropractic adjustment. I haven't seen that yet in my life, but it's there. It's happened over and over and over again. I just haven't been able to go into a hospital and adjust somebody in a coma because I haven't run into it yet in my life. So I invite you to the maintenance model of chiropractic care. Maintenance works. We don't want that spinal decay. Repetition and time is what influences the healing process. Unfortunately, insurance only pays for short-term chiropractic care, and a lot of insurance is not paying for that anymore. So I have a maintenance program that is discounted, and the more often you come, it's actually more financially feasible. So I'll talk about that when you come in for your first consultation and we talk about your health history. But I invite everybody to experience the benefits of chiropractic care, and we don't need the disappointment of insurance. Not necessary. We don't even need it here. Now, 3 out of 4 people who hear this message don't choose maintenance care for their subluxation correction. That's okay. I get it. Sometimes it doesn't sink in too well. Some people need to hear the message a few more times. And when you have new information that doesn't conform to your past experience, it does bounce back like a rejected email. Like I said, it doesn't sink in right away. It's new information and it's hard to convey it and get a real feel for it. But even if it is welcomed information, trying new things is challenging. Some folks don't believe they can experience better health, and I want people to try, because you can be so down and out for such a long time, you just say it's not going to happen. And I encourage everybody to give it a try, because we can always improve. We may not improve to perfect health because of long-term issues and long-term damage to soft tissue, but it's worth the shot. A lifetime commitment does sound overwhelming, but I encourage people to check it out. It's not a quick fix. I don't talk about quick fixes, because when people think there's a quick fix, they actually injure themselves worse, because they really aren't truly healed adequately and they do too much. So we don't want to encourage the quick fix, because it does not exist. Now, if you are the 1 out of 4 who wants to dive in, you might still have questions, and that's okay. It's fun. I'll answer them for you. We can meet some of the other maintenance members in the office. It's always exciting to share your experience with others, and that's why we have a membership program, because we have people in and out, and there's always somebody to talk to, and that also is part of the healing process. Good social contacts. And while I'm getting to know you better, I can learn more about what stresses you out, what are the nuances that affect your health, and we can really dive deep into what helps you heal and what helps you maintain the balance. So you're invited to experience this. I'm very excited to meet new people, and I just can't wait to meet you and get you on the table and get you adjusted. One more final word is, I plan on getting adjusted the rest of my life, and I offer that to you. I wouldn't hide that from anybody. If I am that passionate about it, I welcome it to you. So you listen to me jabber on for quite a while. I encourage you to come to the office. Let's chat about the exciting things you're looking forward to in your life and how we can make it better. So I'll see you at the adjusting table at Homick Advanced Chiropractic. Thank you. We'll see you soon.